And Juju is a bigger baller than Caitlin Clark. I said it.
I said
it.
Yeah.
I said it.
Cam Newton said Watkins is a better athlete than Caitlin Clark, but Stephanie White wasn't having it. In a world full of hot takes, this one missed the mark. As soon as Cam spoke, the internet exploded. Then came Stephanie White, calm, focused, and determined to shut it all down.
And it has nothing to do with black and white, but the statistics say what everybody needs to be knowing.
Yeah.
Juju is a better athlete than Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
But this isn't just about Cam Newton talking or a former MVP making a bad comparison. This is about truth versus agenda, leadership versus noise, and facts versus flashed. We're breaking down everything from what Cam said to Stephanie White's exact clapback, to why Caitlin Clark and the Fever are shutting down narratives and lighting up the WNBA. This story comes with receipts, rivalries, and a serious reality check. Stephanie White just owned the moment and reminded everyone who really runs the court. Cam Newton is a former NFL MVP, a Heisman winner, and a quarterback who carried teams on his back. But having a big platform means your words carry weight, and this time, Cam fumbled badly.
Rivalries always equates to ratings.
Yeah.
There's more rivalries in men's sports. That's why the ratings are high. See, the thing about Juju, the thing about Paige is, it's not saying this is bad, but they're good girls.
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark was a good girl.
The comment that sparked the firestorm came during an episode of the 4th and 1 podcast. Cam Newton, casually leaning into an unnecessary comparison, confidently claimed that Juju Watkins was a better athlete than Caitlin Clark. But he didn't stop there, he doubled down, bringing up race and framing the debate around bad girl energy versus good girl branding. And just like that, a simple sports take turned into a full-blown cultural debate. Let's be clear, praising Juju Watkins isn't the issue. She's a powerhouse, a USC sophomore putting up elite numbers and showing serious leadership potential. No one is questioning her future, she's box office. The problem? Cam didn't just hype up Juju, he did it by tearing down Caitlin Clark, a generational talent, with no real justification beyond his own perception. He argued that Juju isn't being pushed like Clark because she doesn't have an arch-nemesis, and he tried to frame Clark as the good girl against players like Angel Reese, who embraced the bad girl persona. Newton claimed Clark's rise was media-engineered and suggested Juju's media attention was being suppressed, but here's the real issue, everything about that take falls apart when you look at the actual numbers.
I do believe Paige and Juju needs nemesis. They need somebody that will rival them.
Yeah.
To build up the anticipation. Because last year,
That was it. It was like, bro, head to head.
Iowa and South Carolina, LSU and Iowa, LSU and South Carolina, like those were like moments and times where it's like, oh shit, I ain't
Especially
never really
LSU
seen
and
women's
Iowa,
sports
boy.
like that.
Yeah.
But thanks to the Caitlin Clarks of the world to have the skill set to match the anticipation of like,
Man,
yo,
Angel
she gonna
Reese.
drop 30.
Yeah.
Juju is also in that wave and that cloth that like I can drop 30 too.
Caitlin Clark's sophomore year at Iowa was record-setting. She led the NCAA in both points and assists per game, averaging 27.0 points, 8.0 assists, and 7.1 rebounds. You want volume? She had it. You want efficiency? She shot 45.2% from the field, 33.2% from 3, and 85% from the free throw line. No fluff. No PR tricks. Just pure domination. And let's clear something up, Clark didn't enter college basketball with cameras in her face. National media coverage didn't fully take off until late in her junior year, when her deep tournament run, flashy passing, logo threes, and the viral "you can't see me" moment all exploded at once. She earned the spotlight by putting up video game numbers in real games. Now, let's contrast that with Juju Watkins. Again, this isn't a knock on Juju, she's been phenomenal. She's averaging 27.1 points and 7.2 rebounds as a sophomore at USC, a powerhouse program in a massive media market, with Hollywood press just down the street. And she's getting tons of coverage, ESPN highlights, social media buzz, endorsement interest. There's no media blackout happening. In fact, Many sports analysts have openly said that Juju is receiving more attention as a sophomore than Clark did at the same stage of her career. That's not speculation, it's fact. Yet, Cam Newton chose to push a conflict-driven narrative instead of one grounded in actual basketball performance. Now, let's talk about the racial undertone. Cam hinted at race, then tried to claim it wasn't about race right after bringing it up multiple times. That's a classic rhetorical trap. You don't get to frame an argument around cultural stereotypes, acknowledge racial tension, and then backpedal with "but it's not about race." Because by that point, you've already made it about race, and fans noticed. Social media exploded. Twitter, TikTok, YouTube comment sections everywhere were flooded with people calling out the contradiction, not because people hate Cam Newton, but because the argument didn't hold up.
You know, I think the greatest thing is just, for me, having been a part of the WNBA for 25 years, having worked on both sides of it in the media and in the coaching realm, and being a player in this league as well. I mean, this is the moment that we've been waiting for. So I don't know if you prepare for it as much as you just embrace it, embrace where we are. Think about the momentum moving forward, where we wanted this league to be and where we still aspire for it to go, and just embrace this moment, embrace this opportunity, continue to help this team, this franchise be better, position ourselves for success.
Stephanie White didn't need to shout to shut this down. Cam Newton threw the first punch, but White responded with something even stronger: clarity. No aggression, no insults, just facts. And in a world full of hot takes, that is what lands the hardest. When White spoke about Caitlin Clark, she didn't just hype up her player, she spoke with authority. She called Clark a great player with an unbelievable IQ, someone who has already adjusted to the league. That might sound like coach speak, but White doesn't hand out empty praise. She's coached at both the college and pro level. If she says someone is built different, they are. But what stood out most? Her focus on growth. Clark isn't just a scorer, she's a leader in the making. Leadership isn't about being loud. It's about being steady, setting the tone, guiding teammates, and showing up in big moments. White made it clear, Clark isn't in the spotlight because of media hype. She's there because she earned it. Now, contrast that with Cam's take, where Clark's rise was framed as manufactured by marketing and media narratives. White shut that down immediately, not with drama, but with truth. Clark's success isn't about branding. It's about preparation, adaptability, and straight-up hooping. The locker room speaks. If you only listen to headlines and podcast rants, you'd think the Indiana Fever locker room was full of tension. But listen to the people actually in it. It's a completely different story. Lexi Hull, one of Clark's teammates, shut the drama down completely. She described Clark as someone who constantly lifts up her teammates. Miss a shot. Clark is the first one saying, "You got the next one." Feeling pressure? Clark cracks a joke to lighten the mood. Erica Wheeler backed that up, saying Clark never takes things too seriously, and practices are full of laughs, good vibes, and fun. These aren't PR statements. They're real-time reports from players who see Clark every single day. What they describe isn't drama, it's chemistry. The kind of team culture most franchises wish they could build. Meanwhile, outside the locker room, voices like Cheryl Swoops are pushing narratives of friction and tension, stories that simply don't exist. The gap between perception and reality couldn't be wider. Why do these stories keep popping up? It's simple, drama sells. Comparing Clark to other players, hinting at racial divides, pushing conflict, it all drives engagement. But it doesn't tell the truth. Stephanie White and the Fever players are telling the truth. Their success this season wasn't luck. It wasn't hype. It was built on chemistry, and fans see it. Ratings are up. Ticket sales are skyrocketing. WNBA jerseys are flying off shelves. The Fever are one of the most talked about teams in the league. And not just because of Clark, but because they're fun to watch. They play together. They trust each other. They're a team, not a brand. The bottom line. Cam Newton fired off a take that didn't age well. Stephanie White responded with leadership and facts. This wasn't about tearing anyone down, it was about elevating the truth. So what's your take? Drop it in the comments. Was Cam way off base? Do you agree with Stephanie White? And if you want real basketball breakdowns, player-first storytelling, and no-fluff analysis, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and turn on notifications. The WNBA is heating up, and we're just getting started. Let's run it.